What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch you up to speed on the storyline, what's going on with all these moving parts, and how does this feed into the DLC, because a lot of people are coming back to the game either after a few months, after a few years, what have you. And the story is quite complicated, I will admit. So what I did the other day during a live stream is I was answering someone's question because they were saying, hey man, are we a rogue agent now? Are we a shade agent now? What's going on with the storyline? And I kind of just started at square one and just brought us all the way to the present and what to expect with the DLC. So this is actually like a full storyline update for the layman's terms, you know. I'm not doing deep dives into every single storyline and category, but I do briefly cover everything going on in the Division. So I hope you enjoy. This is about the Hunters, this is about the Black Tusk, the White Tusk, this is about the Division, Aaron Keener, and so much more. So I hope you enjoy. If you want more videos like this, just let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone's from. But alright, that's it for the intro here. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. And let's roll that footage. I hope you have your popcorn ready.
Clyde. So to clarify, are we considered the good guys, the neutral guys, or the bad guys? I keep getting confused. That is a great question, Claude. So here's how that part goes, all right? So at first, you're a division agent. So in the first game, they activate the first wave after the dollar flu breaks out. Now, when the dollar flu breaks out, first wave gets activated. That's where we get the events of the Division Resurgence and some of the events of the first game, right? So the Division first wave, you're protecting and serving, you're trying to help out and establish the base and all of that. But then some of them turn into rogue agents. Bro, you gonna salute and then just sit here and clap on me? How fucking annoying.
Hostile control point detected.
Thank you. All right. So the first wave, that included like Aaron Keener. So like Aaron Keener, like Fei Lao, those were like first wave agents, right? Well, obviously Aaron Keener, he defected and went rogue, right? So when he went rogue, they established, all right, we need to bring in a second wave. And then that's where our character came in, right? So our character in the Division 1 is a second wave agent. So the entire game, you're a second wave agent. Aaron Keener is a part of the first wave. All those rogue agents and everything like Colonel Bliss, Barrett, who else was in there at the Napalm? Pharaoh. Like all of these people, they were all considered rogue agents or, whatever, what have you. Like they defected and then they built their own factions. All right. So when that happened, we had the Division Network, which we were the good guys. We were hunting down the rogue agents and we were helping the people. So when now you move into Division 2, right? So Division 2, it starts to get a little different and complicated. So the way the Division 2 is that we start out as the good guy, right? But then the president dies, and then the vice president dies, and then we are kind of wondering who's in charge, right? That's the first problem. The next problem is we are actually rogue right now. So we are rogues. And let me explain that. So we're the good guys, but we are considered rogue agents. But we're still the good guys, so that's why our watch is still orange. But in technical terms, we are the rogue agents. Because we have now aligned ourselves with Aaron Keener and the Rogue Network. So technically, we are rogue agents now. But because we are the division, we run with Isaac and all of that, and we're still technically set up at the base. We are still technically, the strategic home line of defense. I mean, we are still the division, but our boss, the head honcho, is Calvin McManus. Calvin McManus is in charge of the division. Like, once you get more of the lore and more of the Descent comms, he's the one that ran Descent. He's the one that got Isaac. He's the one that got Anna. Calvin McManus is the head honcho. He's the head guy. So we're going up against Calvin McManus because Calvin McManus is a bad guy. So the head person of the division is a bad guy. So in technical terms, we are going rogue to take over the division, essentially, for good. For the name of good. Like we're trying to take over the division and make it a good thing again because the head guy is Calvin McManus and he's a bad guy. And that's why he has this secret division within the division called the Hunters. Now, the Hunters, these are division agents, but they are trained to watch over and report on and take out any rogue agent or, bad division agents, essentially. So the Hunters are, in a sense, how do I put that? All right, so Calvin McManus made the division, and then he made the Hunters to act as like a big brother over the division. And if he had to do anything, it's basically his spec ops. And that's why I'm such a big Hunters fan, because in reality, the Hunters are essentially the spec ops of the division, because they have all the best tech, they know how to do everything, and they're just better. You know what I mean? It's just they were trained better, they have better tech, it's just they're better. They're more elite, if you will. So with that, the Hunters are actually good guys. And that's the part that will blow your mind, is that the Hunters are actually this secret, department within the division that work with Calvin McManus. It's like his elite force. So we, as division agents, we are essentially defecting and going with Aaron Keener to take over the division. And what we are, I guess, planning on doing is we are planning on somehow taking over the division, but then at the same time, we have to somehow push Keener out of the way. It's like this really, really weird gray area because you can't get it twisted. Keener's a bad guy, right? I mean, you can't get that twisted. Like, yeah, Keener was right. Yeah, Keener has some good intentions, but you have to admit, that guy's done some bad stuff, Really bad stuff. So we have to somehow, squeeze between Calvin McManus and Aaron Keener, somehow take down both of them, and then just be the division. Okay, so that's just one aspect of the story. Now, like I said, it gets more complicated. So Natalia Sokolova, a whole other part of the story. Natalia Sokolova is the head of the Black Tusk, the White Tusk, and now the Countdown Hunters. Okay? So Natalia... man, this is so much information. So Natalia contracted through the Ortiz Corporation to get her own AI system similar to Isaac, similar to Anna, but with no voice, with no back and forth, basically just an AI system that listens to you and does exactly what you say. Where Isaac, Isaac will like warn you, Isaac will help you, Isaac will come out with stuff. Like there's, and then Anna is a more complex version of Isaac, where Anna will actually like give you attitude. Anna will actually give you options. Anna will actually be like, you know, do you want me to do this for you? Because I will, type of deal. Where Isaac is more of just like a detection alert system that can also help you. Okay. Now, going back to Black Tusk and Natalia Sokolova, they have what's called Diamond. And you'll see it on their shoulders. Like you can see right now on my shoulder, this thing is called a brick. It's a brick. Let me show you. It's a brick. This is basically Isaac. So you've got your receiver right here on your shoulder, and then you have your watch, right? But the big thing is this brick right here on your shoulder. This is where we get Isaac, right? Now, we also get Anna whenever it turns into a triangle, right? I'm pretty sure. Whenever Anna starts talking or whatever. Anyways, getting off subject. Talking about the Black Tusk, they have what is called Diamond. And whenever you see any of the Black Tusk gear, instead of that circle where you would see for our watch, you would then see a diamond for the Black Tusk. There is, let me see, there is Black Tusk stuff on their exotics, and I don't have any of their exotics on me right now. But if you go to the store, for example, right, and you just look at, like right here, the skin, you can see the diamond, their icon. It's for all of their icons. It's a diamond. And that's their AI system. So, Natalia Sokolova is a rich third-party, like, you know, government contracted business, but it's more of like a security business, and she deals with like heavy loads, like almost like your own personal army, if you will. So she has like hovercrafts, she has these DARPA dogs, she has those Wally bots, the drone operators. She owns all of that. And she has all of the Black Tusk tech for Diamond. Now, the way Natalia fits into this is she's trying to take over, I guess, essentially the world, right? And she's starting with America. Now, the only thing stopping Natalia from taking over the world and making the whole Black Tusk a worldwide thing is the division. So what Natalia decided to do was team up with the division, because she found out that the bigger threat to her were both the rogue agents and the hunters working together. So what she decided to do is she decided to join forces with one of those sides to take over the other. And we all know that she's a double crosser, right? So what she does is she teams up with Calvin McManus. And this happened in year 4. So she teams up with Calvin McManus and says, hey, let's join forces. You bring your hunter program into the Black Tusk, and you can use some of my resources. So they had this agreement, and that's where we got the recruiter, right? And if you remember, let's see, I think I have the recruiter. Do I have the mask, or did you have to buy it? I bet that was the one you had to buy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have that shit. All right, so that's where you get the hunter patch. So if you have the hunter patch, where is it? Right here. So if you have this patch is from the recruiter. The recruiter was technically the first Black Tusk hunter. And the recruiter was a Black Tusk hunter who was recruiting, in the name, this person was recruiting other Black Tusk special unit members to become hunters. So they were essentially joining forces, and then you had Natalia working with Calvin McManus to bring us hunters that are under the Black Tusk umbrella. And that's exactly what you get in Countdown. So if you have ever noticed, in Countdown, if you take on a hunter, it doesn't matter what hunter, it doesn't matter what difficulty, it will be counted as a named Black Tusk kill. And that's because in Countdown, those are Natalia Sokolova's hunters. Those are not your normal standard hunters. Those are the Black Tusk hunters. So it's a little confusing because those are the only hunters that are constantly spawning. You know what I mean? Where Calvin's hunters, they hide. You have to find them. You have to do some sort of puzzle or some crap, jump up and down 3 times, yell out Bloody Mary, Candyman, all this crap, and then finally they show up. But Natalia's hunters, they're always there. She doesn't care for the quality, it's more the quantity. She wants a lot of Black Tusk hunters. So whenever you do Countdown, you go up against what? You go up against 4 hunters right off the rip, and then you have another 4 or 5 hunters at the end of every countdown. So it's like something right around 9 or 10 hunters every single time you do Countdown, and those are all her Black Tusk hunters. They don't drop masks for you to get. They don't have anything special for you. It's just like your standard, typical, Black Tusk boss, if you will, because it's like this weird, second-hand hunter. I don't really think of them as, main hunters because they come out in huge packs. It's much different from Calvin McManus's hunter, where if you go through the descent comms, let me show you. So for the hunters, if you go through your descent comms, I think you should be able to find one with, let's see where it is. Oh, see, I'm on PlayStation, so I don't have them all. But anyways, so in your descent comms, and I can pull it up on Xbox, there is a descent comm where he activates a hunter. I made a few videos on it. Because he activates a hunter to go to Silver Creek, which we all know is connected to Heartland, and then they all turned it into Redacted because Heartland got canceled. We all know this, whatever. When he sent a hunter to Heartland, he did not send a pack of hunters. He sent one hunter. And the reason for that is that Calvin McManus's hunters are different, right? So Calvin McManus, what he does is he gets one hunter, and that hunter has his own, team. And he can build his own team, what have you, but they all fall under that hunter. Where Natalia, just like that GIF that I like to use a lot on X, where it shows the 3 different hunters walking up on you, that sort of pack mentality, that pack of hunters, that only exists with Natalia. That has only ever happened with Natalia and her hunters. Because the OG hunters, the hunters for Calvin McManus and the hunters for the Division 1, those hunters, they're solo dolo. They might have people that might work for them and help them with their tech or whatever, like Oracle and Batman or some crap. But they don't run around in packs. The only time you see that is when you, what is it? When you run around that Christmas tree and you get the 4 hunters to spawn, or when you do the other Christmas tree through the market. I mean, there's only very, very few instances where you get them in a group like that. It's very rare. Where 90 to 95% of the time, it's usually one hunter, and it's usually some sort of crazy thing you have to do, to take them on. Anyways, kind of getting off track there. So, and like I said, this is a very complicated story. So, the initial question was, are we good, bad? It's hard to understand right now. The answer to that is yes, we are good. We are good. The division, we're the good guys. However, our boss is a bad guy, and our boss has teamed up with the enemy, being the Black Tusk. So what happened is our enemy of our enemy is our friend. So right now, we know that our boss is lined up with the enemy, and then Aaron Keener somehow came out of the dead and now is teaming up with us. So our boss is the enemy, working with the Black Tusk, and now we have Aaron Keener, also our enemy, helping us to take them on. So we're getting like this rogue versus hunter war, because in Brooklyn, everything that he is standing up is with Agent Hoskins and the rogues. And in all of the dissent comms for the first rogue manhunt, and all of the dissent comms for the manhunt comms and the dissent comms. I think I said dissent twice. When you put them together, you see that Agent Hoskins, who is a rogue agent working for Keener, is setting up a base of ops in Brooklyn. And that's where this DLC comes into play here. And that's because the Brooklyn base of ops is supposed to be this like hunter, what do you want to call it? Like hunter, like it's almost like a operational station just to hunt down the hunters, is what I'm trying to say. Because in the comms, what they're doing is they're using the USB drive from Silver Creek that Agent Hoskins found. And she found that because Calvin McManus, when he got that hunter to get a team to go to Silver Creek, something happened. They pulled chocks. They got out of there. All the agents that were there were dead. And they left a USB drive with a roster. So Keener sent Agent Hoskins into Silver Creek, and when Hoskins got to Silver Creek, she found all the agents dead, and she found the little USB drive. That little USB drive has the information of the hunters under Calvin McManus. So what they're doing is they're having Hoskins, who just recently got back to New York and gave Theo Parnell the roster, the USB drive. So how they're building this up is that we're going to be in Brooklyn. We're going to use all of the intel from that USB drive to hunt down the hunters that are working under Calvin McManus. And then once we do that, in theory, we should be able to then just take on Natalia Sokolova, and then it'd all be done. So it's really like complicated now. You see how the Division 1 story, it was very cut and dry, and now the Division 2 story has like 15 different wheels spinning at once. It's very complicated. Like, the person that wrote all this crap in the second game was not the person that wrote all the stuff in the first game. You can tell it's completely two different types of story building. So now, I know it's a lot, so just bear with me. So now we're going to Brooklyn. We're working with Keener. We're working with Parnell, and we're working with Hoskins. And we're going to take on Calvin McManus and the Hunters. And then after that, we would then take over the Black Tusk, and then that's it. We're all done, right? And then I guess Keener is then going to be a good guy. I mean, that part's still confusing, because they are clearly not good. Like, they've done a lot of really bad stuff. You know what I mean? So it's this whole thing with Keener after we take on the Hunters and after we take over the Black Tusk. I mean, I guess Keener is just going to be a good guy now. Whatever. Okay, Keener was right, apparently. So with Brooklyn, we'll have a base of ops. We'll hunt down the hunters. Bada bing, bada boom. We're good. All right. Now, as far as Kelso is in Brooklyn. At the end of year 5, Kelso, she jumped in the van with Keener and Parnell, and they went over to Brooklyn. So Kelso is playing a double agent for us, where she's getting all the intel from the rogue agents, and she's giving it to us, the division agents. Because remember, we're still technically the good guys, and it's just our boss is a bad guy. So we have to, get rid of our current boss so that we can have a good guy boss again. So Kelso's getting the intel that Keener and all them have, and then she's giving it to us, and then I guess she'll pop up during the DLC. I think that she's embedded with the Black Tusk as like some sort of like hunter, but that's just me theorizing. I think she's like over there with the hunters. Under the Black Tusk to help us take on Natalia. But again, we have no idea because it's been about a year since, since all of this went down. Anyways, that was a lot, right? All right. Sorry. I know that was story time.
Hostile control point nearby.
But that was that should have caught you up on the entire story, right? I mean, I think I just fast-tracked it as best I could, to where we are good guys, but our boss is bad, working with bad guys, and the enemy of our enemy is our friend. So Keener being their enemy, he's now our friend. There you go. Whew. All right. Yeesh. That was a lot. Right? Okay. Man. I'll have to make that a video, huh? That was, I don't even know how long that was, but I tried to give you the fastest timeline. Okay. All right.